Hello, hello, hello. We are back. Hopefully, people will get back um, soon. Um, the problem in doing what I did fix itself, so that's good. Let's go delete message. Yeah, let's re-put that in. Create a line. Okay, let's redo this. Okay, Discord again. Uh, okay, so got everything in. Let's see. Okay, so as I was trying to say earlier with these, we'll go over the city to get the outlook or the thing, and then we will come in like this, and we will draw tiny little soldiers all throughout the city, standing guard with their spears, their swords, and whatever. So, although when we come out, probably, it still looks decent, not too bad. That's probably more around what you'd see for comic book size. Okay, so we will take that one out though. Okay, so I'm gonna switch to a line tool here, and then we're gonna bring it down to about 10, and hopefully that won't be too. Again, that is way too wide. So we're gonna bring that down to 5. Go. I might divide this up later into walls, houses, um, trees, because that looks like something, because there are so many different elements here. Uh, and they look like they're overlapping. I gotta get a better stand for this, a little bit more sturdier stand for my thing that doesn't move as easy. Uh, that's still small. Bushes or whatever here. These lines are squiggly when they should not be squiggly. Squiggly wiggly. It's not the piggly wiggly, it's the squiggly wiggly. And that's something too. I got to figure out how to get those page numbers off these pages because I don't want them there. I have this standing almost straight up. I think that's my problem. I need to put it down a little. See what that's looking like now. Hey, Pilfer. Thank you. This is supposed to be the city of the palms, so I'm using a picture that I think is realistic or whatever, painted from the area. I think it was painted or whatever because it looks more like an illustration than a actual photograph. And then I'm going to be putting soldiers into it. in a few minutes. I'm just trying to. I'll make this look a lot better later. I think this is a garden of some sort here that I just getting all these palm trees in now. Or I think they're palms. Hey, hey, are you? No, I did not skip work. Somebody, how shall we say it? Canceled work on me today. Oh, my friend that knows how to solder, he's gonna come by Thursday. And I'm doing work. I'm working on the City of the Palms. I see no walls there. Yeah, well, I think this is after Jericho. Well, obviously Jericho is with Joshua, and Judges is after Joshua. So, and there's a wall right there, right here. So, put that there. There's a bunch of walls in here. Some of my lines are a little too squiggly. So that is the first step. Now, although they're not going to be looking all that good, we're going to go around and we're going to draw in these little soldiers. Because the soldiers have occupied the city. So this guy's got his sword. And his shield. Very cool. I'll keep playing on my right screen while I do some work myself. Cool, cool, cool. So how'd your weekend go, Peter? How'd your, I presume you were with your kids today? How'd that go? Is this guy holding a spear? Okay, here. Oh, which one was good? Kids are. What did I do? Saturday, I did a couple things. I went around, looked for some things for my shelves, paid off the my dad's credit card that I used for the moving on last Wednesday. But I didn't find the stuff for the pins for my shelves on thing. I actually went and did that today. Oh, and today I went and brought in my hard drive to Best Buy. Hopefully in the next 2 to 3 weeks it will do. I had to put down like $300 for that. The guy was saying he hasn't seen anybody have to put out more than like 1,200 or 1,300, so that's good. And most people don't have to put out that. Usually it's under a grand. It's only 400 or 500. He was saying so. What else did I do today? Oh, I got some laundry done. Well, that's a few gigs, but yeah, a few terabytes. Maybe not all of it, but definitely some of it. Now it says they attacked the city. Should I? I'm trying to think. Well, one thing I lost was all the original files, like similar to this for Canadian Shield 1, Canadian Shield 2, and Snowdrift 1. So I will be able to get back all this, all the layered stuff, which then might be nice because I'm thinking of doing, well, I was thinking a year or so ago to do it, but I never got all the people to get the voices that I wanted done. Sort of a motion comic with people speaking the roles, so you might see the bubbles appear on screen and the words appear as they speak them. So we're gonna have. I'm just. Well, I probably will soon. Probably in a month or two after I get the next two things done. A, my e-bike, and B, give some more money to Dillard. Not that you know who that is. To do finish off Snowdrift number 2. The artist for that. So we're gonna have a whole bunch of soldiers in this. I'll do a lot more. I'm just putting a few in at the moment. I want to put a lot more in, but so it just gives you somebody an idea right now. That's a little bit of what it looks like. Now let's see. Let's take away the background thing. There we go. We got to put quite a few more soldiers in there, and different types from the different uh, armies. So that is page 2 with a second pass. And we're saving that. We're going to go on to page 3 here in a second. Would like nice in my shop. Yeah. So we're on page 3 here. Now, we started this. Did we start this last week? Making it look a little better because we passed the city. Yeah. When are you planning to have these lesser known Bible stories first print? there's no exact timeline for this. I'm just going over it and over it. You know, like this is the third pass, I believe, for this. Um, and I'll do 5 or 6. Hopefully, it only take 5 or 6 passes to get everything where I want it for it looking good, at least for the drawings, and then the coloring is another animal altogether, as you might say. Like this is Ehud um, story. Let me show you something that I have to do. See, this is the Shamgar story. This is going to be a crazy thing because let's take Shamgar out. See, I have the ground there, and then there's the ground just by itself. Then I got to take this layer and make all those dead bodies look better. And then I have another set of dead bodies that I got to make look decent. And then a third layer. And then a fourth layer. Although the fourth... And then, of course, we have Shamgar. I know of that song for sure. I've heard it, but it's been a while. And that's just that's the last page of the Shamgar story. Shamgar's here's the first page of Shamgar. That might be easy to do something. Get there. That's just Shamgar and his dad getting an ox goad, him with the ox goad himself. This is supposed to be the Philistine army. This has got to change. They've all got to look more alike. I was having them look different. Some different angles of him taking on some Philistines. Some more angles. We won't see that there. And then Shamgar swinging the ox goad around, getting a whole bunch of guys. So they're trying to close in with them with spears and swords. But as when I'm done the Ehud story, that's the one I'm going back to because it's the first one that I worked on. So that one's... And some pages will be done before others because I can see that one page. Yeah. And let's see. Although you won't be able to see this. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Docs. Lesser known Bible stories from Judges. We're going to be doing Deborah, most likely. And I don't know anything about these characters that I'm talking about, Well, Deborah, I know. She was a prophetess. Then there's Zebah and Zemnua, Abimelech, Tola, Jar, Japhath and Ephraim, Ibazan and Elon and Abon, Michael's idols, the Danaanites settle in Lash, the Levite and his concubine, the Israelites punish the Benjamites, wives for the Benjamites. These are a whole bunch of stories for judges from judges. I went through the NIV and it has the titles and I used that. Zabak. No, that's not how it's. I don't know which one you're talking about. There's. Probably the first one, not Zaba and Zamuna. Okay, so it talked about later on in this story about I'm having him put something up using his left hand with a hammer. But what I think I'm gonna do is because it talked about him forging his own sword. Somehow I think he could be a weapons smith. Zavok is a character in Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, well then I guess I'm not doing him because this is not lesser known Sonic stories. Or maybe even maybe not like even a weaponsmith, but a blacksmith. So I don't know when anvils were invented. So unfortunately, if this is wrong, I'm just gonna create a giant anvil here. I'll correct it if it's wrong. If somebody wants to correct me. Um, so the question is, what are we going to have him making? Well, you know what? We don't really have to have him making anything that we can tell. But you know what? We'll have him. Left. So we'll have him here looking down. And his hand is going to be here with the hammer. Let's see. He's going to be. It'll be just a piece of metal here. And he will be holding it with some tongs with his hand. So this is Ehud at his blacksmith shop or weaponsmith shop, probably blacksmith. Blacksmith makes swords and that. Now, do we have a picture of Ehud on here or no? No, that's King Eglon. King Eglon the Fat. Doo, doo, doo. But yeah, I do hope these really take off. Okay, so let's see. We have Ehud here. Okay, Control C. We're going to bring Ehud into here. So we're just dealing with panel 3 at the moment. So let's... The great thing is I can take everything out that we don't need. Oh, we're dealing with panel 4, not 30. Okay, so there we go. And then we can just move my version of Ehud over here. We can open up panel 4. Okay, so we'll have Ehud on one layer. Hey, Mike, thanks for dropping by. Hitting that like. And then we'll have his dad, Jera, on the other layer. Although we haven't come up with what Jera looks like. Jera. Okay, so let's come down here. Let's lower the opacity on this layer below. So, any idea what's on topic tonight for your show? What you're going to be reading, stories that you're going to be reading about tonight? Mike? You know what? Let's create a folder. Name the folder Ehud. Hey, welcome back, Elk. How are you? Here, social. Sorry about that earlier. As you can see, we got the problem solved by restarting the computer. I get my switch. name. I get to switch my name in 1 to 2 days. Well, that is good. Any idea what you're switching it to? Are you switching it back to what you had, or? I might decide over going back to elk or parasocial audience. I won't go back to the parasocial. I want to see. I want to see a character with some faces. Well, we'll get the face here in a sec. On here, this character. In fact, I gotta do a little. Okay. Oh, with face scars. Is this the wandering eye in your character deliberate? No, it's not. Um, trying to think. He had. I'm presuming with him making a sword, doing the blacksmith stuff himself, he knows what is doing. So he's a blacksmith. Would he have some scars? Well, he wouldn't have battle scars, that's for sure. Because I don't think he's someone that would went out and battled, but could have he scarred his face any bit in with dealing with hot metal and hot water or whatever? Possible. Um, that's an interesting thought for sure. Would have to. I don't think a lot of the Israelites would have been allowed to have been too many warriors. Yes, he could have practiced in secret. I think just the fact that he's making a sword, like he's taking tribute to King Eglon. So I'm not sure whether it's something that he would have done that before. So we got two more of these squares. Let's see. Uh, Laugh out loud. Blacksmiths going to war test their weapons on real humans. Yeah. Many blacksmiths traveled and fought with armies. Yeah. Well, the only reason I'm assuming he's a blacksmith, and that may be really off, and that's where I'm taking some liberties, I guess, is the fact that he does make his own sword. Talks about him making his own sword about a cubit long later on in the story. So he would have to have some knowledge of blacksmithness to make a decent sword, I would assume. And not all blacksmiths make weapons either, too. So I'm not sure whether he's a blacksmith that normally makes weapons. Yeah, he might know how to, but would he be allowed to in normally and sell them or whatever? I guess he could do it on quote unquote the black market. Oh, this last one is supposed to go with that. Do. Yeah, you need training in the blacksmith. Yeah, it would take a to get a really good sword. Now, does he need a super good sword just to, for it's supposed to be a one-use weapon? So, yeah, yes, I agree. Most blacksmiths would do that, but a conquered country. He's part of a conquered country. He's not the. I don't believe Israel would really have an army at this point. They've been subjugated for 18 years. I don't think that the the Moabites are really going to let them have a blacksmith making weapons for them on a constant basis. This blacksmith is not would he would if he was a blacksmith, he wouldn't be going around with their army. He would probably just be doing, shooting. I'm not sure whether they shoot horses in Israel at that time, but he would probably be doing stuff like that. That's more what I imagine him doing based on. Yeah, Moabite blacksmiths would, but would they trust an Israeli blacksmith not to make weapons for their own people? And that's more. And yeah, blacksmiths make weapons, but that would be more one that you have your weaponsmiths. The blacksmiths would know how to do. I would believe would know how to, but theirs would be a little bit more crude than somebody who specializes in it. It's not about tribe. You wouldn't. Um, you wouldn't. Well, it's tribe, but it's not tribe. Tribe from a different tribe sounds like Roman blacksmiths were. Yeah. Well, I don't know. You have two. I think you have, for lack of a better way of saying it, two different types of blacksmiths. Okay, let's bring this other heat. version that I have. Yeah, and well, I know the Romans were a little later. I don't know. I just don't really see them allowing. I know there probably were, like there were blacksmiths in the Old West, and most of those, did shod horses' shoes, and they weren't all making weapons. And I know this isn't the Old West, but I don't think. And the Romans were really a little different than most people. That they allow when they conquered, they ended up allowing the people that they conquered to keep their own religions and stuff like that. A lot of other um, things, as far as I would know, wouldn't do stuff like that. They would totally subjugate them, not to let them do stuff. And it's different than slaves. For one, he's probably a bronzesmith. Okay. Why do you say that? Just working in bronze? Hey, why do you think he would be just working in? Okay, so now let's bring him over. Okay, so I'll actually want to redo this head because I like the shape and all, but I want to have him trying to look. I want to try and have him looking over at what's supposed to be his dad here. I actually did. Okay, I actually did research by AI. And it compared Moab and Israeli archaeologist sites, and there was metalworking. While blacksmith works with metal, So, well, is there such thing as a bronze sword or dagger? I don't know. I don't know. I know bronze is metal, but I just didn't think of as a sturdy enough metal for swords, I guess. I don't care about the ages, and the ages I think are wrong, anyways, because we know, at least in the Bible, that before the flood, that they were working with various metals, and I'm not sure which ones. Well, I think brass. I guess brass. Because I'm in the middle of doing something and I'm going off the top of my head about some of this stuff. I can research maybe when I want to, and I'm not. I don't know. I don't know what I am. And I do research when I want to, when I think it's necessary. Like I looked up last week in the thing, middle of the show, City of the Palms. What is it? Where is it? Whatever. And it. So I do research. I Heck, Canadian Shield 1. I did research and found out there wasn't tracks up in way north of railroad tracks, north of thing. I did research on Insecta 1, which changed the first page. I do research. Yeah, yeah, it is. And it's not like I just I thought about it a couple weeks ago, and I'm just changing it now into that he is a blacksmith, and I'm going off of a very vague thing, that the fact that he made his own sword. And to me, swords have always been made out of, well, metal, brass, bronze is metal, but I never thought of a sword being made out of bronze. So yeah, I learned something. Swords can be made out of bronze. Cool, I guess. Also, I think the purpose of these comics is to be a document. Also, I don't think the purpose of these comics is to be a document rather than to capture the imagination. Maybe some money as well. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, definitely. Maybe a minute part documentary. Because I'm not trying to go into all the specifics of the thing. I do want to be, shall we say, as accurate as I can be. Yes, for various things. But like I don't know what Ehud looked like. This is my artistic interpretation. I don't know what clothes he wore. So again, that's my artistic interpretation. Yeah, that's for sure. They're not going to be a source for historical reference. Well, they will be in the fact that I am trying to follow what the scripture says as closely as possible. I don't want to go too far off the beaten path. From what scripture says. And Judges is, in a lot of sense, is a historical document, so depends on how you want to get it. But yeah, for the most part, you are correct, Peter. Yeah, definitely not for study. They're meant to inform about these biblical stories because most people don't know. Most people are not going to pick up the Bible and read these stories. They're not. Most people aren't going to pick up the Bible and read Judges and even learn about these stories. I was lucky to learn about Ehud through a Sunday school which allowed me to learn to do what I'm doing now. Oops. Because if I didn't know about learn about Ehud when I did, I wouldn't be doing this now. So I just want to let people know about these other biblical characters that hopefully they'll get to enjoy. Yeah, there's not as much on Ehud as there is David. His story is a lot shorter, it seems. And, also, people like um, Shamgar and thing. These guys that have one verse don't usually get known for anything. And it's going to be neat to share, a one verse character. It's neat to show a one verse character with people. And, okay, so. Now, I didn't make up anything for Jera here, so this is going off the. I should actually probably bring up some of my pictures of characters. or not characters, people with the ancient clothing. Let's see. Now, this is something I used for Ehud, but we're not going to use it. I think I got. Okay, so I like this, although this is more of an assassin type guy, but this is for a woman, so probably don't want to use it. I actually used one of these. I think I'm gonna use this guy over here. Control B. Gonna put let's I'll be back in a bit. I'll keep you in the background. Okay. Yeah, I'm going for about another half hour. Let's scale him up. Okay. So I want to use this, and I don't think I'm going to get to use. Okay, we'll take that out because we're not using that. I like this belt here. That I think I want to use that belt type belt. Although we're probably not going to get to see the whole thing. Um, okay, so and let's again scale this up. Okay, so we can take that away. No, we don't want to save. We can take that away. And it's we'll keep that going. Um, you know what? I was thinking of using something from this, probably making the overcoat type thing, but I don't think we're gonna do that. Okay, so let's see what we'll do here. Is I'm gonna use the hat or whatever you want to call it from this one. Now, I know I'm making this all black at the moment, but eventually what we're going to do, make them look a little older, is we're going to make that white. Make his beard white to hopefully show his age. Okay, so turn over just a tad. Okay, so then we'll come down here. Did I do that? Oh. Ah, crud. I did that on the wrong layer. Control X. Control V. There we go. I can't believe I did that wrong there. Okay, so let's and then we have I like that. That looks good. So now we're gonna have okay, we'll hide this one and we'll bring that one over a little bit just so we can see the belt so we can do it hopefully. Okay, so let's see. Here we go. Down there. That's better. Now let's erase that last line there. And we'll bring this. Okay, so then we'll put that there. Give some definition lines. Okay, so there is Ehud and Jira. I'll take out the background lines. We got to do something with that hand. That hand is really sort of funky. Okay, so we'll hide that other picture. Let's bring back in the panels. We got to work on the panel, the bottom panel now for the next 20 minutes or so. Okay, so we're going to make all these other panels disappear for now. Okay, so for panel 5, we need a few things. This is all on one layer. So that is not going to do. So I want background, back two guys, cart, tribute, donkey, other guy, and Ehud. Ehud. Other guy. Donkey or horse, whichever. Some beast of burden. Tribute. Cart. Back guys. And background. So we're going to have to lower the opacity on this. So the back guys are these two guys back here. Okay, so there we have I don't want this guy to look as muscular as he's looking. He doesn't have to look really meek or whatever, but and I want to move him back slightly. I go over there. Yeah, I think that should be good. And so we'll see his other arm down this way, hand here. This leg is slightly forward, that one's slightly back. And we'll have his other arm down here like this. He's just walking along. He's got a hood on. which is a throw-on hood thing. So we'll have that like that. Okay, so we'll work on him a little bit more later. We got him in there. He does look better than what he did before. Okay, so now we got this other guy that's with him, taking up the rear. Maybe that one guy will be muscular, or this guy will be skinny. His leg, this leg will be forward. They're sort of walking in unison, where this guy's leg is down like that. I don't want it to make him look like he's jogging either, although he seems like he is here. Uh, we'll figure that out later. And his hand will be out front like this. We'll have him short hair. No. The thing is, Israelites all had to have beards. They weren't able, I don't think they were able to shave. I remember my Levitical law. So that's why all these guys are going to have beards. Um, and I think they would naturally have a mustache then. So I'm going to have to do, I'm not sure how to do different things like that. So there's those two back guys. They're not the best done yet. So now we need this cart. Now, I don't know what the tribute was. Could we consider it food, some gold, or some other something valuable back then? I don't know. That's the biggest thing. I don't even know whether we need a cart technically, but that's what I'm doing. I'm making a cart. Maybe there's a bunch of everything in there, so let's see. We're not going to make it a big cart. It's only like a two-wheeled cart. How it. Okay. And then I'm not sure how to make the poles here. I'll figure that out better. A pole coming forward. Okay, so that's not too bad, the cart. And then I'm not going to put the tribute in. I want to do some research, see what the tribute might have been. And you know what? I'm gonna get some pictures of some donkeys or horses from the front. So we'll hold off on our donkey because we only have like about just over 10 minutes left for tonight for this. So we're gonna do the other guy. Here. So I think the other guy is going to be this guy here. Okay, so he is nothing. Give him a belt as well. And then his garments will come over like that. His leg will come out. Here we'll have his foot forward. Yeah. This arm will be back a bit. Maybe attached to holding on to the donkey. The horse, which isn't there at the moment. Let's see. I'm going to come to the background, do it before we do Ehud. And that's something else. I got to find out I forget where Ehud was coming from and where he was going to. I might want to get a couple pictures of that. Although I think the land probably would have been a lot. I know nowadays it's not. It's more deserty or whatever you want to call it. This was a land that was flowing with milk and honey. That's a very vibrant growth and all that. You know, this land had was growing grapes. In my opinion, in based on thing, was growing grapes probably the size of baseballs or bigger. because it took two guys, at least two guys, to carry a clump of grapes back. And to me, I can hold a clump of grapes like this. Assuming that the clump of grapes is, that one thing off the vine, that, you can go hold up like this and, suck them off the vine or whatever, the stem or whatever. I'm not sure what you want to call it. So this is a land that was very fertile. I know this is a little bit past that, but it was a land flowing, as it said, with milk and honey. So it was supposed to be very plentiful and all that. It's through Israel's disobedience and all that and various things that happened to the land to make it not quite as plentiful, because the land got cursed because of things that they did. So I want to try and find somewhere on that route, but I also want to make it a lot more vibrant, a lot more plentiful somehow, some way. Um, so that's a little bit of an idea for stuff there. So we put it in a little bit of the background there. So now we have to do Ehud. And I know we're giving them the same clothing every single time. It's just so that in this story, hopefully, he can be recognizable. There we go. So then, let's see what that looks like when we take the old drawing out. Okay, so we just need to put the donkey or the horse in there next week, the donkey, and the tribute. So that is looking good. Let's see, or better. No, I like Ehud. I just think we need him a touch bigger. Yeah. we bring him a little bit more forward than the rest of the guys because he's leading the pack. We'll get more details on his clothing later as well. So we, like I said, we just got to put the donkey in that and the tribute in. We'll look for what the tribute might have been. Uh, so let's see. That's page 3. Jeez. This is taking a while to get things in, but it's starting to look a little better. We'll probably get. We got him at his anvil again next time. Somebody crying. Him. Somebody presenting the tribute, and him strapping the sword that he's made to his thigh. So we're gonna create a blacksmith shop or bronzesmith, whatever. Blacksmith works with metal anyways, not to me, not necessarily iron or whatever. We'll get a few pictures in of what, I'll have to figure out when it was. Yeah. I could do an ancient Israel blacksmith shop. Anyways, I know we got a couple minutes to go, but I'm gonna end here. Thank everybody for coming out. I will be back on tomorrow night, of course. Um, tomorrow night, yeah, tomorrow night. What time? At 10 p.m. Eastern. Not sure what we're going to be doing exactly, so we will see you then. We'll be chilling for sure. Just chilling and talking about whatever. Okay, so bye for now. God bless. Love you all. Have a great and wonderful day, night, whatever it might be for you. God bless. Oh, that's the one thing I forgot to do. I've been wanting to do. I forgot to do it at the beginning of this. Okay, so I'm going to end right here. But before I end, anybody have any prayer requests? Because I'm gonna try and start with prayer and end with prayer, and hopefully asking for prayer requests from anybody that happens to be in the audience. Okay, well, I don't see anybody coming up with any prayer requests, so I'll just pray to end. Lord, thank you for a good stream. Thank you for all the helpful advice, and maybe even the non-helpful advice. I'm not sure whether what was helpful, what was not. Take it all into consideration. Thanks for letting me get done what I got done, and thanks for a good stream. In your name, amen. Bye for now. God bless. Love y'all.